This cognitive bias shows the discrepancy between an individual's perceived change of something and the actual change of something. In basic terms, this law states that the relationship between stimulus and perception is logarithmic. In other words, if stimulus varies geometrically, perception varies arithmetically. This idea can be practically observed when a trader risks exponentially larger amounts of capital. The logarithmic relationship of stimulus and perception explains why a trader in that situation keeps doing what he is doing until he is forced to stop. In this case, the Weber-Fechner law explains the trader's reckless behavior. The logarithmic relationship says that if stimulus varies geometrically, which means that it will be multiplied by a fixed factor, the perception will vary arithmetically, which is to say in an additive manner. In practical terms it would look something like this. Imagine a trader begins risking 1% of the capital and this trader multiplies this percentage by a factor of 2 in each trade that is made. The series of trades would look like this: 1%, 2%, 4%, 8%, 16%, 32% and 64%. This represents the stimulus. However, the perception of the trader still functions in an additive manner respecting the original value, which was 1%. To the trader, it would feel like risking 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% and 6%. I said this explains the trader's reckless behavior because to his point of view, no real significant change is being made in the risk. The reality of the situation is completely different, as you can see. This is one of those unfortunate realities about our minds that seem to have had advantages to our ancestors, but not so much in modern days. If you think about fights, for example, the Weber-Fechner law is very useful to the person who is losing, therefore it is a form of survival or defense mechanism. This might have been selected as a cognitive bias that helped our ancestors to survive uncomfortable stimuli. Individuals who had this bias obviously would have a better chance to survive than individuals who didn't have it. It's a natural way of numbing unnecessarily big perceived stimulus as a defense mechanism.